to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Listen, y'all, the Lobby Boyz have left the lobby and are in the studio.
That's right.
Maino, Jim Jones.
Yes.
A collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Of which Maino left me completely out of.
Oh, man.
I mean, I see them. Listen, they was working. I see them in the studio. Davies, Fab, they doing all this shit. I'm hitting Maino.
Yeah, right.
What we doing? What's the plan? When's the music ready?
At that point, I didn't have a plan though. We was just locked in.
Right.
You know, we was just in it because what happened was we originally said that we was gonna do like a week or two in the studio and that was it. We just gonna do like 10 records and just throw it out there. But when we got in there, it was starting to really happen. It was like some stuff was coming out of me and it was just happening, right? And then he pulled me to the side and was like, yo, it's coming out better than I thought. Yo, let's stay in. So we wound up staying in, and we spent the whole summer in there, man. Maybe like 50 records.
There's a lot of amazing collabs. Now, before we get to Jim, who is a hardworking, professional, disciplined, crazy. Yeah. Maino, you, sir. How much did working on this help you as a person and an artist? Because I think that's a big story, right? Because I see you on the gram, motivational talking, helping other people.
Indeed.
But sometimes I think you doing that for me, also to help yourself.
For me, because I got to remind myself.
Right.
Sometimes, though, we get in places that we got to remind ourselves how great we are because the game will have us questioning ourselves, our talent, what we bring to the game, and because we don't always get out of the game what we wanted. Right, so I was in a place where I was unsure about certain things because I was shooting, putting out projects every year, putting out projects and stuff like that, not being in the right situation, not having the best resources to put it out, but not feeling.
And this is after all your success.
Yeah, but not always feeling as accomplished, right? So when we started working on the Lobby Boyz, I got inspired because his work ethic was through the roof. He was coming in after doing 2 and 3 records at 12 o'clock. He was coming in from doing other projects, getting to the lobby, we call the studio the lobby, getting to the lobby at 12, 1, 2 in the morning and doing another 2 or 3 records with me. So it was like, man, this dude is working. And it pushed me and it motivated me. So and it got me back where I needed to get, and it got me back my self-confidence, my supreme confidence, and I needed that.
Oh, it has been said that Maino is rapping on this project.
Yeah.
What did you do to improve, and what have you done? Because I think there's some records on here where I hear you talking about your dad not being around. Like it's also more personal, I think, in there too.
Definitely. I feel like I'm like one of the most discovered persons around. Like because I always felt like I was better than what people always actually gave me credit for. But when I got in with Jim, it gave me the opportunity to rap with him. So it was like his bars have stepped up crazy over the years, and now I'm rapping with dudes who's looked at as really being dope. So it was like I got to come to the game really bringing my stuff. You understand? So I couldn't play. And now it's people that's really tapping in and saying, "Damn, I ain't know boy it was really like that." And one part of me feeling like, man, I've been good, right? Y'all just wasn't listening. But another part is saying, you know what? They showed up to the party late. It's cool. Better late than never. We here now.
Now, Jim, did you know that his confidence was a little off when y'all start? Could you sense like he needed?
No. Well, the first day he called me so hype and with so much excitement in his voice. Like we tried to do this like 10 years ago. This when it started, Lobby Boyz, and it didn't happen till last summer. And he called me one day out the blue, like, yo, I'm ready to do it. I'm like, you ready to do what? Like, he's like, Lobby Boyz, I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready for it. I'm like, I bet. He's like, no, I'm ready for it. I'm like, where you at? He's like, I'm in the studio. I said, bet. I'm going to come to the studio after this. And just pulling up to the studio and the excitement that I seen in him and just seeing him go in the booth. When I got to the studio, he was playing music, and the music that he was playing was a little bit different from the music that I've known him for. So when you do music or when you shoot a jump shot as many times as we do, you bound to get nice at what you're doing. There's no way around it. Your jump shot gonna turn water, and that's what happened to Maine. I'm just watching him transform into a dope-ass rapper before my eyes, which was extremely dope. And what people don't know is like his work ethic on this whole project made this one of the easiest transitions for me to do an album. Like, so I'll give him his executive producer credit. You dig? I give him his A&R credit. I give him his artist credit. Like, he set everything out. When I got there every night, I didn't have to do too much. A few beats he already set out for us to pick. We had hooks. Everything was done. It was like laid out the way A&R would do it. Like, people don't know how ill he is. Like, he was the businessman in the social. Like, I did nothing purposely because I started to see how smart he was by getting close to him every night. And I'm like, well, I don't need to have two smart people doing the same thing, holding no weight. I want to see what he did. So he did everything from making sure we got the deal, to making sure we got our money, to making sure we got our LLC, to making sure we got our bank account, to make sure, like, ill, like very ill. And I know.
And you just sat back and got to be an artist?
I sat back and got to be an artist for once in my life.
Right.
Because everything he was doing, I've done it a million times over. So I know that I could pick up on anything that he would miss out on, but this showed me that he was already fully equipped. Like, obviously, he knows what he's doing. So now we here with the album out. Everything is laid out. Even now when it comes to marketing, all these, even today, they coming from his team to my team with the times to be at the morning show, the time to be at, like, you understand what I'm saying? And it's just so dope for me to watch how this is going on. So I want people to be very clear. Maine is a beast. And I'm not just talking about with music, I'm talking about with business. And a lot of times we don't get the light shined on us because of our past and how aggressive we was. But moving forward, I do think that Maine could be one of the illest executives inside of this industry. From executive to A&R to picking artists to doing music to, like...
I've been in the studio, Maino, years ago. You
talking about years ago?
Years
ago.
Years ago.
You talking about years ago.
A decade, right? Like, when you've been writing hooks and putting songs together for other people, too.
Yeah, definitely, most certainly.
A lot of people, we don't gotta get into the resume, course, but Maino's been putting records together for a lot
and
of
the thing that people can't forget is you also in that run after jail, when you first came out with the first album or two, you had a few monster hits. Like, you didn't stumble on it once. It was a few times in a row that you scored.
Definitely.
So you obviously have always had that resume. Were those hits a gift and a curse, though, because are you always trying to get back to all the above?
Yeah, it is a gift and a curse because you competing with yourself, and then, you know, with those,
like smoking crack.
Right.
Trying to get that high back, and it's never coming back.
You trying to get that high, and that's exactly what it is.
Again.
You know, and my success that came because I was with a strong, powerful label.
I don't smoke crack, nor have I ever smoked crack.
Just to be clear.
We've heard the stories about crack smokers.
Right. We all know what you meant.
Definitely. But when I didn't have that support, I was struggling. You know what I mean? I always felt like I was making dope music, but then I didn't always feel like I was in the right situation. And I had a thing when I was like, man, a lot of these niggas is not better than me. They just in better situations. So, you know, the game is a lot to do with marketing, you know, resources and the team. So, you know, but you know, everything that is down comes up. So I had to stay down long enough to come up. I
want to play on that note because I want to play records off the album while y'all here. It's one of the great things about doing a radio show. We can not only have conversations, but we can actually play the music.
Let's do it.
There's a record on there called Climb Back, where y'all sample the Loonies or Club Nouveau sample on there. Which specifically kind of what you're talking about. Not only the coming out of the jail part, but then having to redo it.
Yeah.
You know what
I was down, had to climb back.
Had
and
to
I mean
climb
that.
back.
I mean that. You know what I mean? So sometimes great things come when you see things differently. Like, you know, when you're going through stuff. You know, I created my podcast while we was on quarantine. Right. You know, so good things happen when you in a dark place sometimes, and it brings out the best in you if you got the foresight to keep pushing.
Jim, the other endeavors.
What you mean?
Crypto, Jim. Not you, Jim. Workout facility, Jim.
He just dropped his new app. I saw that.
Gymnasium Jones.
Yes.
Gymnasium Jones is amazing.
Gymnasium Jones.
Gymnasium Jones. I definitely like that name. I think I'm going to name the gymnasium. I think I kind of like that.
But I did see that you just dropped your app. Tell us a little bit about
the Jim Jones official app. You could download it for free on Google or Apple Apple stores, which is it just tickles me to death. But it's pretty dope. Everything about Jim Jones, a one-stop shop for if you want to go to find out about my concerts. Want to hear some music, you can stream music from my platform. You can watch videos. You can get the weather. You can learn about fashion.
You get the weather?
Get
foot taps and everything.
Everything about Jim Jones. You could go to this app about. So if you like shopping, there's places where you could go shopping there. Like anything that's attached to what I do, fitness. You could go watch some live workouts. You could go watch some old workouts. I'm just excited about this app. There's so many ththings that I would like to do with it. So many things I got planned to do with it. But for the most part, it's dope. I try to stay in the mix. Just try to keep my foot ahead of the game most of the time.
But how much are you applying that business acumen to this new branding y'all doing, the Lobby Boyz, right?
Everything.
Or even y'all working out, like, because y'all been doing workouts, like with you, Fab,
So it was the
Dave,
Fitlet is a fitness initiative that we all started, me, Main, Fab, and Dave East. About New Year's, Fab had this list of things we should do to start the resolution with getting in shape, and I was like, well, we might as well all start going to the gym, which was pretty dope. So since January, I watched these gentlemen get reacclimated to fitness, like my man Maine would say, watching Fab be in the gym 4 to 5 times every week, and just watching people make the transformation. So we turning this whole journey into a full business. Like I said, we got a TV show behind it. We got the gym behind it. We doing an album behind it. Every opportunity that we know we can mix together, we try to put it together.
Wait, slow down. You a TV show? Y'all know about a TV show?
No, I was going to ask
you
about
just blowing
that.
past items.
Can you talk about
we
that?
Doing something. We was doing something with Revolt with Puff.
Yeah, shouts to Puffy
on the
Love that.
on the fitness on the Fitlit thing. We actually shot an episode. Yeah.
So Fitlit is the TV program.
Fitlit is the movement.
Right.
Got it.
That we all started, us 4 gentlemen started. And it turns into everything. It turns into the actual gym, turns into actual television show, it turns into actual music, turns into everything. You know how they say, man, we strong alone, but we empowered together. So the power's together, and that's how we trying to use it. Besides just showing the unity of what we can be inside of this city and inside of the music industry, doing things that we probably haven't seen ever in this game, especially from a New York standpoint of view. And we trying to use all our advantages and all our platforms to make a...
So how does this get into an album now? And who's on the album? When is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just trying to blow past
We
items.
was working on the album last
ask.
night.
Yeah. So last night, this morning, really.
Yes,
I ain't leave till
right
3
before we
this
got
morning, and I got right back up at 6.
So y'all recording more music.
Yeah. So first of all, when we did the Lobby Boyz, we did about 40, 50 records to from the door. And then as far as like the Fitlit, we was like, if we gonna have a show, if we gonna have all these things going on, right? If we talking about supplements and stuff like that, and drinks, merch, we might as well have the music to go with it. So let's do an EP or whatever, or album with us 4.
Davies, Fab, Jim, Mainos.
Yeah. And not for the sole purpose of fitness, because we making incredible music, but you already know everybody loves to listen to good music in the gym.
That's right.
So it's a win-win. And making music for fitness is not a thing that's really been exploited. So there's also a whole new lane that we can start, because...
Specifically that you going in the gym...
Yeah.
Trying to get a certain kind of energy.
When y'all in there talking greasy too, so that helps.
Yes.
Well, people already make their gym playlist. Y'all can just provide them the completed gym playlist.
Exactly.
Or add this to the other shit you already got.
To the workout
and then there's a workout regimen that goes with the music also. Like it's a beautiful way to time your sets and your workouts through music and stuff like that. So it's a whole...
So in the
thing that we
TV show,
got.
are you guys like taking somebody who's struggling with their fitness and helping them transform?
Well, the TV show is not all about fitness. So the TV show starts with fitness. That's our meeting ground. Like that's where the basis is. When we come to that gym, do our locker room banter, talk our shit and go crazy. But for the most part, it's about following these 4 fathers through their journeys of the industry, from correcting their past to fixing our future, to all the wild things in between. Like the first episode we shot was at a boxing match.
We went to the boxing match. That was the Edgar Berlanga fight.
Pure madness. Pure madness. Roddy Rebel. It's just so many different elements when you're dealing with people like us. It just falls apart. So I think it's going to be a very dope, high energy show that people go.
And y'all been talking shit. I see y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
I have an issue. Shout to Gillian Wallow. Why you letting these Philly dudes come in between New York? Got y'all going at each other on the
No,
podcast?
this ain't got nothing to do with them because he been knew that Harlem was getting fly. Like this is like he knows how we do this.
He was just having
This
they
ain't
go down to Philly, and I'm seeing these Philly dudes got y'all talking about the Bronx.
This has been going on. It's been going on since he said Jimmy get bigger now. Like this has been going on for a long time.
So you telling me Wallow and Gilly didn't try to like?
No, this is a big
they could never get.
No, they've been. I've heard them fight about
this. We're a super group.
Right.
Talk your shit.
You can't get in between the super
Talk
group.
your shit.
With all black leather.
And don't forget the level. You
There you
heard?
go. Yeah.
But we're gonna have our differences because he knows that
But here's the
Harlem
thing,
is just
here's the
real
thing.
fly. Like
Listen,
he knows
listen.
this.
I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. That's
That's
where
right.
every rapper that
Then
came
they say
from.
that's the Harlem. They say that's
they
the.
don't say
They say
that.
that's the
They don't
Harlem
say.
of
They
Brooklyn.
never
They say
said that.
Bed-Stuy is the Harlem
They
of Brooklyn.
never said
And
that.
he knows this.
They never said that.
See the difference?
Listen.
You see
Let
why
me-
he's
let me-
mad because he.
Look.
So we like Batman and
They
Batman,
ne-
right? But I got the new Batman suit.
He got the suit.
God,
He
don't
got
do
the
this.
suit. That's the cartoon suit.
Nah, you got the pal.
he got the
He got the
pal
comic
got
book
the
suit.
pal glam suit.
I got the new suit. I got what's boy
You got
name?
Dark Knight.
No, the
newer
Batman. I got that
The
suit.
Batman.
This is his problem. This is his
I can
problem.
fly suit.
This is his problem.
Yeah. No, this has been going on for a minute.
We won't mess up your whole show. If we don't let
No,
you-
if they start
That's
arguing,
fine. It's a Jim and Mainos show now. Shit.
I'm from Brooklyn where everything is great. Come on, Brooklyn.
But I'm from Harlem where everything is better. We know
Harlem is one area in Manhattan. You from Manhattan?
All right, well, look, this is what we're going to do while they argue. We're going to play this Gay Beast joint with the Lobby Boyz. So this is Harlem, and Brooklyn.
you're from Manhattan is a
Manhattan.
great line. That's a great.
Harlem is just one
But
little
out of
small
here when he
place.
says this, like
No.
You know what you should say though? When he says you're from Manhattan, you should actually say he's from Long Island.
That is a very
Because
disrespectful.
Brooklyn is on Long Island.
Back up, though.
You're going too
Yo, Jim, I got you. That's yours now.
For real.
You're from Long Island.
Long Island. That's messed up, bro.
That was wild.
from
That was
Nantucket over
You-
there.
from Nassau County.
You're from Montauk.
From Montauk.
Oh my
One long
God.
strip, huh?
It's the whole
Long
thing.
Island,
Yo, Jim
yeah.
and Mainos here. I had no idea I was kicking a hornet's nest. I honestly thought Gilly and Wallow,
Nah,
whom I
man.
love,
They
had
got
tried
their own
to.
issues over there.
Yeah.
These issues that we got
We got
for a
issues.
long time.
Listen, and we got a couple issues. That who started what first in fashion? Did Brooklyn start this first? Did Harlem start this
Brooklyn
first? Who
hardly
get fly?
started anything.
Brooklyn started everything. Don't
Y'all
let you
started
ever forget
boosting.
that.
The only thing y'all started was boosting. You heard?
Don't you listen? Brooklyn started more than boosting, nigga. We started everything.
Yo, hit him with the Michael Jordan. Hit him, you know what I'm
Mike,
saying?
we know that.
He already know.
Everything
Michael
that's
Jordan
great
what?
come from
Any night is like Mike.
And we got another. And we got a couple arguments. Who was more sturdy? I'm more sturdy. We got a couple. It's a few.
What do you
arguments
mean? What do you
we
mean?
He
got.
did
Sturdy.
never. Don't listen to him. He is not more sturdy.
That's a
he
fact
got
that I'm
one
more
move.
sturdy.
He got
You
one
got
move.
one move.
My shit is sturdy.
You're not
Like,
sturdy.
I'm very sturdy.
Really?
out
You're
here.
not
Yeah.
sturdy.
Word. Like if
Not
you
sturdy.
if you go and ask one of the youngsters,
You got bad knees, bro. You got bad knees.
This is how you gonna do
got
it.
bad
Like
knees.
this is how you gonna do
Yeah,
it.
this is what I'm saying.
That's slander right
So
there.
wait,
That's
so
like-
y'all, so what they saying is, Mainos claiming he could schmurder dance, woo walk, and Millie
everything.
Rock all at the same
He got
time.
one move though. That's
And
like four
spin.
moves.
And
That's like
spin.
four moves
And
right there.
spin.
He only got one of those.
Jim
Like,
Jones, he basically saying Jim Jones can't Millie Rock, schmurder dance, and might be able to woo walk.
This is crazy. You from Brooklyn?
So we-
No, sir.
This is
I'm
crazy.
saying I'm trying to translate for people who don't know what
like
sturdy
you leaning
is.
towards Mainos.
No,
so
I
I
just
don't
know the
understand what's
lingo.
going
But
on.
I was
lingo.
just saying that just to let you know we already have a couple of back and forth
Differences,
that
but he knows
we
the
go
truth.
through.
You heard?
The truth is what
Now, I
it is.
will say, when it comes to working out, Maino actually shows up to work out.
Definitely.
Jim Jones shows up with club outfits on.
Yeah,
but I work
and
out.
no
fly.
socks. And no socks.
I wear socks. Stop
Those
saying this.
those
that call ankle
these
socks,
booties,
bro.
those booties, those not socks. Those are not
Maino,
socks.
by the way,
the one
They're
with
not
the
socks.
pom-pom on the back in
First of
different
all,
colors. That's
bro,
crazy.
Bro, that's
You in the
not
80s,
bro,
bring it back,
bro. That's
bro.
not appropriate.
That's crazy you
That's
said
not
booties.
gym attire.
Ankle socks. Everyone
They're
That's
wears
just
not gym
socks.
attire. No,
They're
they're not.
short.
That's
That's
not
it.
gym attire.
You got to wear long socks to the gym?
This is what I'm
Like an
saying.
old man?
He's wearing old school
Right, you
tube
gotta
socks
wear
with the
real
stripes on
socks.
it.
Yeah, you need to have
Because
the
we
stripes
running
and
and
the
jumping.
matching and all that.
He
It's
wearing
crazy.
socks that's sliding under his foot at the end.
I hate that, though. That's a
This is
problem.
what I'm saying. Those socks
Now,
don't
here's
work.
a quick. Now, do you, Maynard, you don't smoke as much as Jim, right?
I don't smoke.
That's what I thought. You don't
I
smoke
never
at all.
smoke. Nah.
No, he don't smoke.
How does that affect your guys' like working relationship? Because Jim is, I don't want to give away, speak out of school, but Jim is high.
He gets me high.
We always drive in separate cars because he would never make it to our
Never.
next. Like,
But I get contact.
What about in the studio?
Right, I get contact.
Right
Remember
there.
the other day we was doing them drops?
high as a kite
man,
sometimes.
Now, did you used to smoke or never?
I smoke like,
But it was never your
it was never my thing.
This pack is different out here.
Yeah,
with smoking
that's
nowadays.
whatever that is that you got.
It's marijuana.
Is it?
Maino, do you drink at all?
illegal.
Yeah,
You have a drink here and there,
yeah.
but you're not a big partier. Like you like to go out. I know you like to go out, but when I say party, I mean
You don't know,
When I
man.
say
Is
party,
he like a part? Is what?
when you say party can mean
wait.
two different.
No,
two
he's
different
saying
things.
just
'Cause
drinking
When you're in a
cocktails.
club and a girl asks you, do you party?
He's a-
That's
that
something
means
else,
she
right?
goes
I
to
had
the
this
bathroom.
conversation with him. I said,
Yeah.
That's what party.
I remember. That's what I was saying. You don't
That's
party.
what party.
That ain't right, man.
I don't
That
party
ain't
like
right.
You
you.
talking
I don't
about how
party.
you just said you want to go to the club tonight at 12
I
because you
never
need more
said
time.
that.
I said
I
I
never
got
said
this thing.
that.
I just go to the club for power hour. Maybe pop up about 2:30, leave 3:30, 4 o'clock when it's over. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna need more time, bro. My life is different than yours. I need to go in about 12:30.
I never said 12 days. I need
3 hours in the club?
I'm saying it's a party.
Maino,
Oh, he is a party.
Me and
animal.
Maino spent some nights. Me and Maino has long nights out here.
3 or 4 hours?
I need at least an hour and a half.
90 minutes.
But here's the thing.
to 2
Maino,
hours.
Maino used to be 3 hours. We was in there. We was in there.
We was outside, but
We
you
was
know,
outside.
I'm not saying I'm all the way in, but I when I'm outside, I like to feel what's happening here. You understand?
Yeah,
and
you
it's
like to
like,
indulge.
if I'm gonna do it, let's do it, right? Let's have a good time, and then I may need to be liked on. Like
It's a big
It's
big
not a
Said
problem.
like doing.
Well, hold on. And going to the club at I don't Jim.
What?
Going to the club at 2:30 is a pain in the ass though. I'd rather go at 12:30, so at least you're in there. You don't have to
No,
wait
Jim
until.
only wants to
I'm
close.
not gonna go
It's
to
called power
He wants
hour.
to
It's the
close.
most
Jim go to the club when it's
exciting
closed.
hour
That's
of the
it.
club.
When it's at its most.
We get they
That's
showing
when
up,
the
we
DJ play his
leaving.
best music. He go and play. That's it. I'm out of there. You heard? Smoke screen. I'm gone. Maino still in when the smoke goes. Like, yeah, we still party.
It's
Lights come on.
It has happened.
Jim is gone.
I like
outta
to
there.
go and have a good time
Because
if we're
his Batman
going
suit
to
is
go.
outdated. See,
No,
I
my
get the-
Batman
that's
suit is
why I get to
new.
leave on
That's the
time.
problem. You got the
It's
old
like,
Batman suit. You got to run
still be
home.
there. We throw the smoke bomb.
No,
We still there like,
no.
supposed to leave.
Yo,
when
we
the
going to
smoke
breakfast?
bomb.
They still arguing, and we gonna play another song. Slide, Jim Jones, Maino.
that's a big
Oh,
one.
this
Fabio.
is the song of the summer, though.
Of the summer.
This really
Let's
is.
get this clear.
I'm glad you said that.
Let's
Let
get
people
this
know.
clear.
This is the
Go.
thing.
This is the song of the summer.
Fact.
Whoever get on the DJ Wheels of Steel Hot 97 Summer
Wheels
Jam
of
when they
Steel.
play this, the whole 60 is gonna get sturdy.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk Summer Jam too, because these brothers, we're doing a tribute to the great KSlay at Summer Jam, and I want to talk about KSlay because I never want to let his name fall by the wayside and
Legend.
the influence that he had on both of y'all careers.
KSlay is a very integral part of my career. Like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be. This very room right here, just thinking, we used to come here on Thursday nights, drama hour. He used to let us rap. At that point, I was just an artist that just got out of prison. I wasn't an artist at all. I was trying to transition my life into being an artist. And he was the conduit between the streets and your first step into the game. And he gave the streets the opportunity, We always have a funny story because when I came home, me and my guys, we was like, let's, we just met KSlay. Let's take him to, let's take him out. Let's take him to dinner, right? So we took him to Mr. Child's. His first time he ever went to Mr. Child's, I took him there, and that became his favorite restaurant, So we had a dope friendship over the years. Everything he ever asked me for, I always did, and I'm glad I did that because, when I got my time to shine, I never changed because he never changed. So everything he ever asked me for, every verse, everything I needed to show up to, I was there. So, he definitely gonna be missed.
Now, Jim, you obviously Harlem, KSlay Harlem. When you first met Slay, did you know like the history of KSlay? Did you know the graffiti? Did you know was that?
I may have met Slay like 93. You heard?
Yeah.
Slay used to have the shopping cart decked up with all the CDs and all that stuff you could sell and stuff like that, and be walking through with his mixtapes back then and stuff like that. He started like that. Everybody knew Slay for having all the music, and then as we graduated, started getting into music, Slay kept propelling, and then when we got our deal, Slay ended up getting the deal at Hot 97, and it just made sense. And then, Slay was very important to a lot of us coming to freestyle. Like when he had the spot on First Avenue, when he had to throw you the key out the window, he was living up on like the 3rd or 4th floor, and for you to get upstairs to freestyle on it like this 8-track, small little contraption he had upstairs. You had to walk up 4 flights. Like his whole journey, we was there from the beginning. Then he was so pivotal when it came to the Dipset mixtapes. Like our first mixtape, our second mixtape, our third mixtape. But the first one, when we had all the fur coats on, that was very big for us, very big for Harlem. So we kind of started our stardom kind of at the same time with the whole Dipset and KSlay. And right now, I don't think that he will ever be replaced for what he has done from making his mark inside of this hip hop, because he put on for so many people that didn't have the opportunity. Like he didn't hold no. He just he let you rock. I mean, for so many people, he gave you that shining light. Whether you took it and blasted it off, that's something different. But he definitely gave a lot of people opportunities to be where they at today.
Yo, rest in peace and love to the whole Grayson family. And he's family to us, and we're gonna do a tribute for him at Summer Jam. But it made me think, listening to y'all talk, how committed both of you guys are to New York City and to young artists in the streets too, right? Yeah. A lot of people who have had success in New York as an artist, a lot of times, people move away, and that's no shot to them. People go to LA, they go buy big cribs, wherever. Right. Even Jim, you got property wherever you go, but you always come back.
Home is home.
Talk about how important that is, just on a personal level, and then and what that's done to kind of even bring you to this point as the Lobby Boyz.
Me personally, I always wanted to be right with my city. I always wanted to feel right in my city. You can move anywhere else, you can live anywhere else, but you always want to feel solid in your city. And I feel like it's a duty, to even pass the torch or help provide guidance for a lot of other artists, younger artists, and give them some game when it's necessary. You understand? And I just feel like that's a responsibility, of a person that been in the game for a little bit of time. And so I always been like that.
And you, Jim?
Well, the city always been big for us. Like, coming from Harlem, those are my roots. So being outside was something like being inside for us. Like we always, just the comfortability, and then the stardom came with it. And New York City was always something that was something very big for Dipset. Like they held us up. And a lot of times they say, prophet is never loved in his own home, but we've received so much love in our own home a lot of times, and it just was different. And there's no place like New York. I mean, Maine tell you, we pop out outside all the time. Like he was just up in Harlem the other day. Like it's just something. It's something for when the people get to see you, the gratification. Yeah. It's like, it's a two-way street and things like that. We showing them inspiration. They reminding us of where we came from. It's all love. People got to see it. People got to touch you. They got to, It's a lot to it, but I love New York City. It's always been that way.
Did you ever have a proper conversation with the people at the Gucci store who disrespected that day?
Well, I don't want to get this. I don't want to get this. It wasn't really about the Gucci store. It was about the service that that wasn't provided when I was at the Gucci store spending that money. You dig? But
did you ever have a conversation though? Was it ever?
With who? Gucci?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone from the store. Did anyone ever reach out to say, "Hey, let's make this right"?
I mean, that's not really my. What were they gonna do? They were gonna give me some free clothes or something? What the fuck they gonna do? Like really though, man. I went to the next store, brought some Louis. It was all good. You dig? Apples and oranges. And no, don't get it twisted. I know somebody gonna be like, you need to support black men. I do support black business all the time.
All the time. Business owner also.
You slipping. I have a television show that highlights all the black fashion designers. Like, don't play with me. You heard? Let's not get that twisted. Just want to put that out there.
There's a bit, the streets right now, people say the streets is different, or, the streets is crazy, and you see artists getting hit with charges and people going through all different types of things. And you guys have navigated the game. You talk about coming out of prison.
Indeed.
You've obviously been in hot water many, many, many times.
For me, because the rap game and the music business for me was a way out.
That's right.
Right? So that was always the narrative for me. I had been involved in so many things prior to music that getting into music felt like, I
ain't got to do that no more.
Right, redemption, because it's like we coming from that already. I didn't need to get in the game and try to be something that I already was already. I already proved that. I already come from that. Anybody that know me prior to music understands me to that degree. So music always was a way out, because anybody that was truly in the street, anybody that been hustling in the street forever, don't want to be in the street forever. So it bothers me and it disappoints me that, sometimes the artists get into music and wait till they become artists and then go to prison and die, then, it's things like, wow, like, was it even worth it?
Well, it felt like, when I was coming up, and it was always a separation. And I think, Jim, you and I have talked about that too, where it was like, if you had talent and you was trying to make music, the streets or your people made sure that the street shit didn't bubble over into the music shit. There was some separation there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And which obviously that way they not trying to tie your successes in music to other endeavors.
Different era though.
Right. And that's what
it wasn't Instagram, it wasn't cameras, it wasn't so many things that made it very easy for you to get tied into certain shit that your friends was trying to protect you from. When we were coming up, we didn't have to worry about all of these things that they have to worry about. And not to mention how stupid a lot of these people are moving and things like that. Like, it's just, the game is a little bit different. Yeah, I would say that, but the streets are the same. You heard? Like, the streets don't change. They don't love you. You know what comes out of the street when you choose to do certain things. When I first got in the game, I was using music the wrong way. You dig? Because all I pretty much knew was ignorance. Yeah, I had a very tight moral compass, and I was very smart, but I came out of a bunch of ignorance, a bunch of hustling, drug dealing, like all of these things that was fresh out of the pot. So I was using music not as a way out, but damn, like a way to get in, which was crazy. And I don't want kids to kind of fall in the same thing. And I felt that it's a trick. Don't trick yourself out of the opportunity and the success that you could gain from being in this music game, because this is what it is. This is your way out. Don't fall for it. You dig?
Well, it's a path to so many different businesses, which is another thing.
The opportunity,
the grace of God, nigga. Like, you don't get second opportunities.
That's just what I'm saying.
You don't get second chances. So I don't think it's gonna go for a lot of them like it's went for me. So I pray that everybody take a lesson or take a page out of our books from watching us making all our mistakes and finesse it for yourself, so you won't get into the things that we fell short of.
That's I tell them when I get in conversations, with them. Because like I said, we pass the game when necessary, when it's wanted, when you just don't want to be running around feeling like or looking like you just the dude just preaching, right? Because that
imposing your will on somebody
you
else.
don't do that, right? Yeah. So when we get into conversations, I talk to 5-year all the time. It's like shout out to B Love, talk all the time. It's like the opportunity is greater than the problem. Right? The opportunity is greater than whatever the problem is, right? You got to put your suit on. This is a business, right? You got the opportunity to get out of some of the hell that you was already in, right? And some of these kids is young getting opportunities. When I was like, when I was your age, when I was, 16, 17 years old, they ain't had no record deals. For me, it was cracking a gun. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that was offered to me. You understand? So it's so much opportunity now, and even with the social media, it's opportunity in everything, because everything is at you. Everything is.
It's right in your hand.
It's right here in your hand.
Pocket. It's right in your pocket. The Lobby Boyz, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
always proud of y'all. You know what I'm saying? What should we hit them with the song of the summer slide? We gotta hit the praying joint with Benny the Butcher.
Definitely.
Okay,
that's crazy.
That's tough.
Definitely.
And then what else should we hit them with before we up out of here?
What you want to do, Off the Leash?
Why not? Off the Leash.
Let's go. Lobby Boyz. Pick it up in Apple Music. Jim, Jim, Maino.
Yeah.
Love y'all, brothers.
Love
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.